They needed that one. A sort of contest early that turned into a bit of a pond hockey. Well, it was a pond hockey game the whole night. But they rolled over the Blackhawks tonight. Stars win. This is the post-game show. The whole gang is here, and we're all on time. So let's get it started right now.
Get it ready, boys.
One more game to go in the 2024 calendar year as the Stars get the victory tonight to set up their final game of the year at home. Their annual New Year's Eve game is on the way on Tuesday night, and they do so avenging one of their worst losses of the season, a 6-2 defeat in Chicago in the late part of November, now with a 5-1 drubbing of the Blackhawks, who looked pretty toothless, or as Razor likes to say, feckless, at United Center tonight. Alongside Sean Shapiro, Sam Nessler, Craig Ludwig, John, our producer, Anderson, I'm Owen Newkirk. Thanks for joining us tonight. Much better vibes after this one compared to the other night where they coughed up a 2-0 lead at home to the Wild, which is good, but I wouldn't be using this game as any sort of benchmark.
No, but it's a positive note, right? I mean, guys got some ice in, guys got some points, guys got a couple goals, they got a big power play goal. Joe Pavelski's in the house there.
I kind of like Chicago. I like you having a bell.
Yeah, I know. I should have it around my neck.
You should have it where you can see it. You mean like a bell cow?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And you know what else is something? We got all the time zones covered here.
Let's see. We got Eastern.
Yeah.
We got Pacific. We got Central.
So, I mean, no Mountain.
We got to send John. Well, I mean, all cities started in Colorado. So there you go, Luds. We just have to get somebody over in Newfoundland time to get that plus one and a half.
It's a great night. Everything's working. Spotters off the hook.
I mean,
we're good to go.
The hot seat's cooled.
Yep.
All right, let's get to this. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of storylines aside from just this game. But it didn't really start all that well tonight for the Stars because they went behind to a power play goal in the first period. Actually thought it was kind of a blasé start to this game. And then Bedard scores off the power play. Stars had an early power play of their own and didn't do anything with it. Lost every face-off. And Luddy, what
stood up at the offensive blue line a couple times.
Were we at a minute 45 before they had any setup time?
I remember the first one. It was a minute 31. They went chasing back down to their end again. So yeah, I mean it's just kind of a little bit of the same old.
So the 3/4 of the first power play, they didn't have any sort of setup at all. And then what was it? 12 seconds, Sean, where Bedard, they win a draw, gets the shot, it deflects. Hey, we got a little bonus, a cameo. 5-1. I know. Well. You win like that.
It's amazing. They come out of the woodwork
Katya
when the Stars
comes in
win.
For a celebration. I love it.
Jump on the bat.
Only when they win.
She's coming in to say hi, maybe. There she is. Our head of production. The Cowboys lead. I love it. Well, technically that's Jeff, but guys, Sean, that was sort of the antithesis of the Stars power play. Winning a faceoff, getting an early shot on net. It's unfortunate it went off of Sam Steele and in, but that's what they needed to do, and Chicago got the lead.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was a blasé start to the game. It was the entire game was blasé and expensive. I know they won. I know they won 5-1, but it wasn't really. It wasn't like anything ever really picked up from that, and so yeah, it kind of defined the whole game. And obviously, Dallas eventually got the goals to kind of make up for all of it, but. Chicago gets the goal from a Bedard perspective. I know Sam Steele puts it in, but that's kind of one of the reasons that he is this kind of this player everyone is so hyped about. I know it's a goal that Sam Steele knocks in at the end, but it's a shot where if you watch right before the release, he changes the angle right around. It goes through two legs on the way. So it's the reason Connor Bedard is so dangerous is because of his shot release and how he changes his angle at the very last millisecond. Yes, some help from Sam Steele, but it's something the Stars probably should take a look at when they think about their own shots and everything like that, because there's so many times this team, especially on zone power play, and yes, I know they scored tonight on the power play, but there's so many times where it's like, as a goalie, you can sit there and like, okay, here it's coming, and that's not the case with Bedard's shot.
I'd just like to point out, since we always give crap to Sam for faux pas, I like two things. One, Sean's got a lot. He's got a KitchenAid mixer over his shoulder. He's got all sorts of, is that a moose?
This is a so there we got a menorah, and then this is the mitzvah moose.
I was going to say that looks like a Hanukkah moose.
See, you can celebrate for tonight.
And the lights go on the antlers. How about that?
Fifth night of Hanukkah, so we'll leave it on the
the
five
mitzvah
right
moose.
there.
I love it. And you got rid of the suits.
So, I mean, I came home, and I also have of a different brand of whiskey, since I don't have my Herman Marshall yet. So I need that shipped here so I can pour that properly when it's time for that. So I'm ready. I came completely prepped. So
I love it. Sam, the Stars got back on the board after the power play goal. Nothing of substance happened for about 5 minutes. I had 0 scoring chances from either team. And then Dadonov, who I thought was phenomenal tonight, went to the net. A good transition play. He gets a grade A one-on-one. Soderblom makes a save. Jamie Benn crashes the net and scores. And it's 1-1. And, you know, this is kind of a sneaky thing, but Jamie Benn has consistently been racking up points. He's been going on over a month now where he hasn't had consecutive games without at least a point.
Yeah, and I think it's because he plays that style of game we've been preaching. I know Luds and I have talked a ton about it, and we've talked about it on the show, where the Stars can probably benefit from going to the net harder, getting pucks to the net, getting bodies to the net. And Jamie does that every game, no matter what. That's the way he plays the game. So it doesn't matter if the team's not doing it. He's going to keep doing it. This is a perfect example of that. I mean, Dadonov stopped on a breakaway, which doesn't seem to ever happen. It was kind of a mini breakaway, but still a great save with the left pad. But Ben's right there. And that's one of those plays that we've seen over and over again for this team, where that rebound might be there and there's just nobody there. And Luds is saying, where is everybody, or whatever the case is. And Jamie Benn makes a habit of crashing the net and going to the tough areas. And he's kind of showing it by example with that one.
Will you read what I wrote down right there?
Let's see. Luddy wrote, going to the net in quotations. Above it, he wrote, more direct game.
This was in the second period. So my little grasshoppers are learning there. Hear that, Sam? Going to the net. Listen, if I described every goal and I wrote, obviously you write them down, on every one of them. And you said it, and Sam said it. Dadonov going to the net, Jamie Benn going to the net. It was just there was more, it seemed like there was more put on tonight, that pucks were going to go there and there were going to be bodies there. And they got rewarded, regardless of the opponent, they got rewarded for it. And now maybe this is something, you want to take into your next game.
I see a couple of super chats already coming in. Pile them up. We've got a big section of super chat coming up a little bit later in the post-game show, as we will be happy to talk about any particular topics or things you want to throw at us. So please get in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on our YouTube page. If you're here live, if you're listening to this later, obviously you can't be a part of the chat, but you can be a diehard and get in the Discord and maybe get into that conversation later. So at the end of the first period, the game's tied. Stars were boring on the power play and gave up one, and people are a little upset about that, Sam, as you sent us a message. Twitter's going crazy. I felt like an overreaction, but do you want to back yourself up on that one?
I don't think it is an overreaction. I think Sean could back me up with exactly what he felt after that last game. Is that, like, it just feels like, I mean, there are plenty of reasons to not feel good about this team right now, right? The power play is struggling like crazy. With the goaltending hasn't been as good as we're used to. They're not scoring more than 2 or 3 goals each game. There's a lot going on, right? But it just feels like if the Stars are to go out and they score 2 goals, it's like, oh my God, we fixed it. And when they let in a goal, it's like, wow, we need to fire everyone, change this, bench Jason Robertson. There's a lot going on, and I understand it. But it's just funny to see how quickly it can kind of turn. And so just trying to monitor those and kind of keep people, try to find the balance of keeping people, even, and also acknowledge the fact that a lot of these things are true. You have reason to doubt this team right now. They are not sitting where we want them to be and not playing where they want them to be at. But it was just interesting to see that explosion.
This is why I don't read Twitter during games anymore. I watch the game. I pause, and I'm able to go back and do things on my own time and all of that. And this is why I don't check Twitter during games. So I'm sure I can take. Sam, I imagine it's that way, and I will look at it later. But it's the reason I stay off Twitter now.
The early part of the second period, I have to give Luds this chance to explain this because we were watching it. And the Stars took a too many men on the ice penalty. And sometimes it's, well, a little bit of a long change. The puck came over. Somebody played it. The other guy hadn't been on the bench yet. You can see where that might come into play. There was nothing even close. The two defensemen for the Stars, Luds, go for a line change with 4 guys in on the forecheck. And it's not even, you go, what is it, 6, 7, 8? I mean, it was ridiculously bad for the Stars.
It was ridiculous. And I love the camera work, though. Who do they go to right away? Right to the 2 coaches on the bench. right to Pete and Potter. So, and again, that's their responsibility to relay the messages to who's up. And, I mean, ultimately, I've heard that for years. It's the coach's. No, it's not. It's the player's responsibility. It's knowing who you're taking off the ice. And even if somebody hasn't said anything, you got to be aware of what's going on.
Well, they didn't give up a goal, but Ryan Donato had a high grade chance on a kind of a sweeping play into the slot. Really good save by Odger. Remember, that was 1-1. He scores there, and he's been kind of cold lately, but he scores there. It's 2-1. And Luddy kept looking at me, guys, during the broadcast going, don't let this team hang around, right? This is what gets you into trouble, letting a bad team gain confidence. Well, then the Stars get a power play, get a couple of shots from Robertson and Duchene. They also gave up a shorthanded shot, but a pretty easy save for Oettinger on Dickinson. And then the whole game turned on one play, and it was the 5-minute elbowing major and game misconduct for Tyler Bertuzzi, catching Colin Blackwell with his back left elbow on a attempted reversal hit. I understand why they called it a major, so they could review it. And by the rule book, if a player suffers an injury on an elbowing, that's the call. As you heard Ray Ferraro in the broadcast, who's great, by the way, I love hearing his analysis. He said that the Chicago bench was flipping out, saying this is not a good call. What'd you guys think, Sean?
I didn't like. I mean, it was one of those where I thought it was a penalty at first, and I actually, at first glance, I didn't think it was a major, and then you kind of stop it and slow it down, and you see he makes contact with the elbow, and then I think it's the right call. But it's one for me where it's in the day and age that Lud's played, this is just a 2-minute minor and nothing's going anywhere because we don't have the chance to replay and slow it down and everything like that. Or maybe it does. But to me, it was I think they got the call right in the end, but it was at first glance, I saw it at first glance. I'm like, oh, what happened there? And then you see the elbow kind of come up at the end, but to me, I didn't see it well until the replay. So right call in the end, but one of those where I don't know how you expect an official to make that call the right way in real time, and that's why we have the replay system. So that's the way I looked at that one.
What do you think, Sam? You agree?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a smart call, like you said, to make the major call right away so you can review it. I don't think it's malicious, but that's not the rule, right? It's if there's an elbow to the and there's an injury to the facial area, it's a major. So it's the right call. I just think that it's one of those that's tough because I don't think Bertuzzi's trying to do that, right? It looks like it's a wild play. It's out of control. You need to have control of your own elbow, similar to Rempe, but I just think that it's the right call in that scenario, and I certainly love what came next.
Well, intent on a power shouldn't really matter when it comes to a penalty. It's just like if you go into a car accident on the way home right now and you rear end someone, if you say, I didn't mean to do it, you think the cops can be like, okay, go ahead. Like, to me, intent doesn't matter here. It's what happens.
Intent only makes things worse.
Yeah, intent only makes things worse. So it's like it's not something where it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do it. So yeah.
Well, as Sam was alluding to, the Stars actually scored on the power play as Jason Robertson from the inside of the right circle rips one past Arvid Soderblom. Jamie Benn, Miro Haskin assists. It's the 8th goal of the year for Robertson, and the Stars get one early on the 5-minute major. They take a 2-1 lead. That would turn out to be the game-winning goal, and they desperately needed at least one.
And can we talk about where that goal was scored from? It wasn't, I mean, it was, to me, I look at that goal, and yes, it's Jason Robertson shooting, but it's not Jason Robertson being purely on the flank. It's not Jason Robertson being in that spot where they get set and he gets so locked into, I have to look for the shot, I have to look for the pass, and he gets so locked in. It's a bit of chaos. It's a bit of him he's come to the slot. The angle's a little bit better. I think it was was it Ben who was literally outside the screen, outside the angle while Hintz is in front of the net. It's a power play goal scored by mistake, by accident, which is what this team needs to do. Like it was the perfect example of that 12 seconds to me is what the Stars should be saying. This is what our power play needs to be. And they lucked into it because, Owen, you said the game changed on that play, and it did. But it didn't change nearly enough. They scored one goal during a 5-minute, like they won this game 5-1 and should have won this game 12-1. I don't like they went 1 for 7 on the power play. I'm still not.
No. I'm with you on that. I guess the thing is and let's carry this over and talk more about it on the Stars post-game show next.
We're going to need a little buzz to talk about that then. So let's start with a little bit of Herman Marshall. Dallas County's first legal distillery since the repeal of Prohibition. Located in historic downtown Wiley, Texas is proud to partner with the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas on a single-barrel expression of its signature straight bourbon whiskey. The Guns N' Hoses Foundation is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing immediate financial assistance to the families of fallen police officers and firefighters lost in the line of duty. They're built from the grain up through family, fellowship, and friends. So, for every bottle of single-barrel straight bourbon whiskey, Herman Marshall donates 15% of its revenue to the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas for those who went before. Stop into your closest Goody Goody Liquors and other fine retailers.
All right. Let's talk about Shady Rays. I decided not to troll Luds tonight. I left them in my bag. I could have easily brought them out, put them on, and we don't do the bit every time because, like, 'tis the season to
getting old
to get along, and he's already had his Herman Marshall. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with built-to-last shades that will not break the bank with premium polarized lenses. It's an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all of your outdoor activities. And here's the thing. Sometimes you buy very nice sunglasses and you're afraid to do anything with them because you don't want to scuff them up. You don't want to bang them, all the things of which may ruin a good pair of shades. Well, lost or broken replacements is a great bit that the Shady Rays company offers you. You don't have to worry about if they ever go missing or they take an unexpected hit, and you can get a replacement very, very cheaply. Exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out the best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code DLLS for $35% off polarized sunglasses. All right, so let's go back to what Sean was just saying. Stars up 2-1 after the power play. They had more chances. They even used their timeout with 1:33 left on the major and had a couple more. I mean, look, Sean, they got one. So if they hadn't gotten any on the 5-minute major, that would have been a catastrophic mistake and would have continued to perpetuate this. But they got one. Well, should they have gotten another one? It would have been nice. But they were able to tack on more, and we'll get to that. I just like the fact that they generated some decent looks, but after the Robertson goal, I didn't think they had enough. They didn't have any high danger looks, and that's the problem, isn't it?
So, yeah, if they didn't have high danger looks, did they have decent looks?
Yeah, I had 7 scoring chances on the power play in the second period. Now,
okay.
5 of them were on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them were on that. Excuse me.
I'm not just, for me, tonight is a perfect example of the power play not working. I know they scored the goal and we're supposed to celebrate that and clap, clap, clap and all that, but they scored their one power play goal on a broken play. It was one that wasn't part of the way they try to run things. And then, I know I'm jumping ahead here, but like you get to the third period and they're up 5-1 and they're still rolling their first unit out. Not to be mean where the Blackhawks are going to be like, oh no, they're running the score up. Like, our power play unit is so bad, it needs practice on the 6th one in the third period. So I just did rough math. Sam's Owen, you're the astrology major and all that stuff, so you're probably better at math than I am. I think 1 for 7 is like 14%. 14% is where they're at for 28th in the league right now. So,
by the way, I resent the astrology reference.
but the moral of the story for me is, yes, they scored on a 12-second broken play of power play and then just did what they did the entire time.
See, Luds, you just can't satisfy the natives are restless.
No, I get it. I mean, and even, the one thing for me, Sean, I agree with the broken play and everything like that.
Yeah.
There were a couple things there. I give Rope Hintz the cojones to stand in there because he was the guy standing in front, right? And and Robo, what I liked about what Robo did is he shot the puck, right? He gets the puck to the net, and then they go back to being a perimeter kind of, let's fancy it into the net, kind of that thing that hasn't been working, like you said. The timeout is what I liked, though. And
I did like that, yes.
My guy to my left here is telling me, oh, they're giving a break to the other unit. And I'm like, no, they're not. They want this unit to go right back out there and continue. Yeah.
Let me tell you what I said.
Okay, this is going to be BS, but go ahead.
No.
But I will tell you what happened is that coaching staff is like, this is the group of guys that need to get some confidence and start scoring.
Completely.
So they let him out there. And the beauty part of that is Robo shot at least another 3 times. Yes, it was from there, but it's not the little passing here and there and everything else. So what they need to do, and it's like the rest of the game, is they're gravitating going to the net. And the shots, Jamie went there, Dadonov went there, Hintz was there. And hopefully they're going to start to see, as Sam and I have been talking for a month now, start playing a little bit more direct hockey. And, and again, with the coaches saying, no, we're going to start scoring. And that, but they started scoring, but every single one of these goals had something to do with directness aimed at the net, whether it's bodies or whatever. And I know he's chomping at the bit right now.
I can't wait.
He just wants to be able to get his point out there.
Okay,
it's going to be wrong, but
Lutz is absolutely right. They wanted to try to score again with that group. What I said was not, you're worried about giving a rest to the penalty killers. It was because of the injuries to Sagan and Marchment, they just don't have any confidence in their second unit right now. They feel like they're a bit top heavy, and that was the only one that was going to score.
How do we know what's the top unit and what's the second unit?
Well,
somebody tell me that.
It's the one they trot out there first most of the time, right?
Well, how's that been working?
Well, it hasn't been. That's my point. But instead of having unit A, unit B, and if one's going like at the beginning of the year, okay, this one's going to get out there, the second one, now they just don't have that because of the injuries. So it's it's Duchene with was moved up to play with Hintz and Robertson and Miro, and they moved Jamie Benn to the second unit for a bit. He got some first unit stuff. They're just playing with a bit of a short stack, I think.
Well, I mean, it's with the Stars, it's the same. The power play stuff was, okay, you needed that first unit to get as much practice as possible. And you know what? Honestly, it's a shame since it was only young guys that broke the CBA on Thursday. They should have just sent the whole veteran unit on Thursday. If you were going to do it, you might as well have sent them.
Wait a minute. The young guys didn't break the CBA because they just showed up.
You're right. So but you should have just, if you were going to break it and make an ice practice and make it optional.
I would practice.
If you're going to do it, have the whole thing and then don't lose to Minnesota.
Yeah,
I mean, you could have. You know what? That would have been the message. We're willing to spend $100K to get this power play better. That's the message that they should.
There's the PR spin they could do for that. I'd like that, right?
That would have been a great thumbnail, Sean. Thanks for saving that till halfway through.
I'm sure Mr. Gallardi's very happy about that little move.
Well, to carry on the recap quickly, because we have other things, as Sean kind of alluded to get to. Really nice goal from Dadonov. Matt Duchene with a primary helper. He had a 3-point night. That was his first. That was with about 5 minutes to go in the second period. My favorite thing was Luddy looked to me and said, see, Duchene just took that right off of Jason Robertson's stick and said, don't worry, kid, I'll take care of it.
Well, what he did, what I liked about Duchene is he was getting close to Robo, and Robo kind of lost it for a second, but Duchene makes the whole play. I mean, he gets down and he drifts off to his left, and I love how Dadonov keeps going to the net, and then Duchene puts it in the perfect spot for him to one-time it.
I know that Dadonov's been playing on his right most of the time as his off wing. I almost wonder with the injuries right now if you don't go Dadonov, Duchene, and Johnston, because I think those guys have some understanding there.
I don't know. I just think I think that Dadonov can be a guy that buys time a little bit coming into the zone on that offside too. He knows when to curl up and things like that. I think it benefits Robo because Hintz is always flying through the middle of the ice. Robo, his spot is coming in late, and I don't even know if it's on purpose. Sometimes it's just because
That's where he is on the ice.
That's where he is on the ice, and maybe the lack of some speed to keep up with other guys. And I think Dadonov can find
lack of
him
speed
there.
never hurt Joe Pavelski, did it, Luds? Yeah, look, he's got his bell. He's ready to go.
Yeah, it never hurt him until about the last 20 games of the regular season and into the playoffs, maybe. But
yeah, in year what, 17 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but
hey Sam, early third period. Last time you saw a guy take a slashing minor against and score without a stick.
That was hilarious. I saw the goal and I was like, well, that's a big goal, except I have no idea how it went in. So it was, again, though, Luds, the simple thing about it, where was he going? Where did he score it?
He drops his shoulder, a little move, and he cuts into the front of the net.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, it doesn't go off him and doesn't go into that.
I'm going to keep saying, I know it's so simple, but I just think that when you are not scoring goals, especially on the power play, when you're not scoring 5-on-5, you're getting all these stats against you. You just do it simple things. You just crash it to that area, and the slash, he takes the slash, he continues going, and he gets a lucky bounce. But one, I love the goal from where it came from. Two, what a massive, massive goal in this game for this team, because if it's fresh on the minds of all four of us probably at the beginning of that period, the Minnesota game is fresh on the minds of that team right there, and that's got to be a huge weight off their shoulders to pump that to a 3-goal lead.
Well, Sean, Matt Duchene finished off a pretty nice night with his third point, getting a goal. He hadn't scored in 5 games. He only got 2 goals, I think, in his last 8 or 10, something like that. And I think a lot of that, and we've talked about it a lot on our show, has to do with more the lack of his line mates keep getting hurt and disappearing. But this was a big one for Duchene because, it had been a while since he'd put up points, and to have a 3-point game like this and to be able to put one in the net from that, that's a Matt Duchene kind of performance.
Yeah, it's for him, we talk so much about, and you guys have talked about it on the show before, so I'm not going to rehash everything on there, but there is one of the pros and cons of having such good chemistry and being so consistent with one other guy like he'd been with Marchment before, and then with obviously Seguin before Seguin went on the shelf for the rest of the season, is there's times where you can naturally expect various things from your line mates. And so I think with Duchene, one of the things of the last game, and obviously they want to see Mason Marchment back as quickly as possible, one of the silver linings maybe is it unlocks Duchene a little bit to the openness and reading off others and everything like that, which he clearly has the capability, but just sometimes you have to break that habit back to being able to do it with other players. And hopefully just from a Duchene perspective, I look forward to seeing him. That's what I take away from the positive spin from the Marchment injuries. Okay, now we get to see Matt Duchene just be a little bit more open-minded in his line mates play and everything like that he can kind of hopefully move forward on that.
And again, I think Matt's got to be a little bit more selfish now because he was more of a distributor to those other 2 guys, and he has to do what he did. And again, what he did on that goal, and when you watch the replay from behind, he gets just into the top of the circle and he just takes a beeline right to the straight of the net. And it's a nice bounce that comes out to him and he gets it. But if he doesn't do that, if he wants to drift away and kind of guess, well, it's going to rebound and it's going to go off to the side here, he doesn't get that opportunity.
So that's pretty much it. The end of the game, there was the Maroon two penalties at once. I didn't like it. Luddy didn't think it was that big a deal. It looked like he sort of caught Bork with an elbow to the back of the head. Luddy thought that the diminutive forward shouldn't have stepped in front of the train when it was coming through. Maroon's a big guy. And I gotta understand.
Well, I don't care about him doing that, but I'm like, you were like, oh, that's Maroon.
Well, from the one angle,
Bork skates right into his elbow, for God's sake.
From the one camera angle, it looked like it didn't look great.
Go away.
Well, they didn't score. They did have some chances.
Slowest moving train in the league too. So
but
it's like here comes the train, and it's like, oh, get off.
If you're going to bring up my astrophysics degree, I'm going to talk to you about inertia and momentum, even if he's not the fastest moving. Sam,
an hour here.
Before we go to our next segment, which
Sam, it's getting messy here.
Loaded with you have no idea. So, Sam, I have a message that I have to share with you from one of our diehards who just sent me a Twitter DM. It's from Allison.
Oh, great.
You guys ready for this? We're going to put Sam on the spot.
Oh, man.
She sends me a message a few minutes ago, and then she gave me consent to say this on air and give her credit. Sam is hot. I said it. How about that?
Wow.
I think, hold on, checking sources. It checks out.
Let's open up. Let's open up to the rest of the panel. Do you agree with Allison?
Isn't he getting a little red?
I don't know. It's hard to tell with this.
Right there?
I think a little bit.
I got the sun behind me here.
Yeah.
The sun in that
Are
Southern
you gonna ask
California.
me to like comment on if he's hot?
I mean, I was just going to open up the panels at whatever you wanted to say.
For a little
I'd
guy,
like to
yeah.
hear Luds. I'd like to hear Luds.
The little guy.
Well, if you want to chime in on Sam's personal appearance, hit up the super chat because we're going to that next. Look at this, burned oils. I agree. Sam is very kissable as of late.
I forgot I got to go, boys. I'll see ya.
Boy, we made him feel a little awkward. There is the win, and we haven't even done the super chats. That's next here on DLLS.
Oh man. And now it's my read,
Now
too.
he has
What a beautiful timing. All right. Well, with Empire today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire is your one-stop flooring shop. They want to provide the best and most efficient service. It may not always be the most affordable, but you will have the best experience working with Empire. Empire is the best place to get new flooring, so of course they're going to have copycats, but Empire cannot be beaten on quality service. Speed. Competitors can advertise low-quality products that Empire simply will not carry. Empire's philosophy is to help you find what you need and not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selection is as important as what they put in. Their virtual floor designer is a great way to see how your new floor will look in any space. It's easy. Snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room or how hot the host of the DLS show is. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use the promo code DLLS. That's promo code DLLS. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/DLLS for details.
Well, we're way off the rails, and it's great. Let's talk about Saturday Neon. Started by two college friends or buddies, although be careful what you use. Otherwise, producer John might be ready to fight, because if you say the wrong friend or buddy, it's over, especially in the North End. The Saturday Neon makes officially licensed collegiate logo LED neon signs perfect for your home, office, dorm room, fan cave, or bar. Check out their new Essentials collection featuring almost 50 of the biggest schools across the country and counting for only $75. A&M, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, etc. And of course, because they're LED, not neon, they're not hot. You won't burn your hands, and they will last a long, long time. Head over to SaturdayNeon.com and use the code DLLS for 10% off your favorite sign. Oh, if you thought that was fun, let's super chat it now. And we've got some bing bongs from all over the place, John.
My mic's muted.
Deep breaths, y'all.
Give me a second. I have like 9 things I have to press before I can get to the bing bongs.
That's
Bing
true.
bong.
Well, we can take one off your chest. What do you think Joe Pavelski thought? There's one button he didn't have to press. What do you think Joe thought of hit it again, watching the Stars power play in person tonight with his son Nate?
I don't know. He was holding a white little bag in between his legs.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, I think
ones
he
you get in the
flew
airplane?
here. Yeah, he probably flew there.
I thought he was talking about cocaine for a second.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, Pavelski loved the power play. He's up there doing bumps in the stand.
Let's not start that rumor.
Oh, and he's with his kid, John.
All right, John. We got a lot to start, so give us that sounder that we all love.
I hit it like 30 seconds ago.
I feel like nobody heard it.
I hit it.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what to tell you. Listen to the podcast and find out.
Bing bong.
There we go. Our first one. Oh, a very
It's a
generous
long one.
Robertson and Ludwig. 2103
Wow.
from I Love Misty 1985.
You sure that's not Carbonell?
I'm pretty sure it's a Ludwig.
Okay.
Oh, you mean instead of Robertson, you think it's Carbonell?
Well, I don't know. I was just wondering.
It could be. I'm going to guess it's Robertson. Get a super chat for every goal we score. Challenge commence? ? Anyways, good to get back on the Blackhawks for last month. Also, can we say Joe Pavelski saved the season
You don't have to point at the bell. We know.
with us scoring a power play goal after a locker room visit? I just want to make sure you were paying attention and not trying to read that. Yeah, this was this morning. There's Joe working on the stick. I mean, it looks like he's ready to go, isn't it?
I'm thinking that the contract offer may have gone up.
After
I'm
1
just
for
saying,
7.
whatever they're offering him after this win. Power play goal, win, let's see.
I thought it was fun to see Joe. And from what it sounded like, again, we weren't there, that the boys very much enjoyed having him there. So maybe he brought a little bit of happy thoughts before this game today?
Well, I think it's like a father figure to a lot of these guys, especially Wyatt. But they're, he was a conscience for a lot of them. And he helped them through different situations. I think he helped guys like Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, even though they're older guys. I think that Joe is a very cerebral kind of person in general, and his hockey sense and all the situations that he's been in, it just lends to teaching these guys different things about how to go about their business.
Yeah, he's an assistant coach, basically a de facto one for a player. I know we talk a lot about Steve's spot, but one of his lines he had earlier this year, Sam, I think it was preseason, when he said how many times they went in between periods to go mention something to Robertson or Hintz, and Joe had already brought it up.
Yeah, same thing about how many people get phone calls from Joe after games, during week,
games,
whatever.
During
games, you see
right into the earpiece
using that phone on the No, he was. We knew he was more than just a player, and he brings a lot to the team. I think someone once told me that hockey is a game, and games are supposed to be fun. I can't remember where I read that about 5 or 10 minutes ago, but
that is from one of the best baseball movies out there.
There you go. Well, Joe Pavelski brings that fun to the rink and some smiles, and that is important. It may seem silly, but it is important.
You're a little slow on the draw there.
I'm trying to listen. I'm absorbing what these two intelligent writers have to say.
We have a Lundqvist and Oettinger super chat from T Farmer. Most of the big guys have been getting points. Love to see the confidence returning. Time to turn a new page into the new year. Look, it's the Chicago Blackhawks. They are now 4-7 under their new interim head coach, Anders Sorensen. I almost called him the goalie tonight. They were terrible to start the year. That's not really changed, but sometimes you got to beat the opponent in front of you. You can't apologize. As we say many, many times, you never apologize for a win, ever.
Bing bang.
Ardell, a little Lundqvist and Harley tonight. Sean, is Miro the Stars' best option at the point on power play 1?
I mean, the power play is at 15.4% for the season right now, so no. And it's. I mean, I think Thomas Harley should get.
Absolutely.
They should definitely look at giving Thomas. I think part of the reason Miro maintains power play 1 status right now is I think it's this imagery thing of, hey, he's our number 1 defenseman. We want him he's going to be in Norris Trophy conversations, all of that stuff. And so part of that responsibility is being power play 1 guy. And I think they're trying to force something he's not. And I think the Stars as a team would be better if they got over that and said, okay, let's give Thomas Harley the opportunity to run power play 1, see if Thomas can have that opportunity. And I think the Stars are kind of missing the mark on that right now. And yeah, so the answer is no.
You know what, Sean? I agree with you, but on the other side of it, I think that there may be a few more opportunities going the other direction. Only because Thomas likes to hang on to that puck on the blue line. We've seen him do it 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And if you do it 5-on-5, you're really going to do it 5-on-4, because you think you have more space and time. So
yeah,
you may have to give up, but I agree. I've said this for a while now that I think, tops of the circles down, Harley is the most dangerous defenseman on the Stars team.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys said it all. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. We got a Madonna and then a Stanley Cup year super chat from Michael Moore. Robo looking to shoot first was nice to see. Watching the Stars play, it looks like they are not playing free hockey. It looks like they want to get to a spot on the ice and dump the puck. Thoughts? Well, it depends on where, because Luds has been mad for weeks about their entries and not being willing to change up at all.
Well, I think you have to, just like the opponent scouts the power play, and they're a team that does not want to get rid of the puck there. And I think there's times that you have to change it up a little bit, because when you can see 4 guys, that's in 2 defensemen, that are standing within 3 feet of the offensive blue line, it means they're not worried about you putting pucks in. And so if they would ever do that and get their wingers on the walls to move, I think you just free it up a little bit. So now every once in a while you put the puck in, you go get it, you retrieve it, things like that. Now maybe you catch them off balance on the next time down. I think I do this with our guys, and I think other teams do it too. You have 2 different power play groups. You can have 2 different entries. You can have 2 different setups too, so that you just don't hone in on one certain thing.
Panel?
Bing bang.
All right, we'll move on.
No. I agree. Lud's got it right, and I don't feel like I need to repeat what he said. He said it perfectly.
There you go. See?
Well, he knows. He's a smart man.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yep. Messi's very good too.
I think this might be a first, Owen.
What do you got? Oh, we have a little sterling British pounds from our buddy Alistair across the pond. A Madonna and Stanley Cup year, but in British sterling, aka the pound.
Hold on, let me do a conversion.
Doing the math.
See what it is.
Okay, I just got to work 4:30 a.m. and only heard the third.
$12.57, by the way.
Oh man, producer John, way faster.
Yeah,
I'm still
what is it? 12:57. Okay, so let's see. The Stars don't have a 12 on their roster right now, or a 57. So we'll stick with the 999. And he says, let's see. That's right. It's a Foxa. Only heard the third on the commute, but I just wanted to support the show live as I'm normally asleep. See? You talked about time zones. We're in Greenwich Mean Time now.
See, we got them all covered on this show.
Love it.
That's Lud's time right there, 4:30 a.m. Lud's is just getting ready to.
That's when I'm taking notes. That's when I'm watching our boys, all the great plays that they're making out here. I'm taking notes, getting ready to talk about them.
Alistair, we love the support. Sean, do you want to talk a little bit about what happened the last couple of days with Liverpool versus Tottenham and others?
No, not at all.
Thank you.
Well, that's just because his team didn't go so well. And another big one today as they destroyed the West Ham Hammers in London. So anyway, we'll move on. First place.
Bang.
Last super chat we have as of
Okay, we have Corey Too Far, a little Lundqvist and Sagan super chat. Glad to see a power play goal against Chicago with their decent penalty kill. Their penalty kill has been unbelievably good. They were in at 97% for a really long stretch of time. I believe over the last 14 games, 37 for 38. That's before today. Why does it seem like we tend to score on the rush on the power play and not after sustained control?
Because exactly what I was saying is I think that what happens is when teams are trying to stand up against you, and because you are playing that kind of, there are times you're going to beat them. And I think that there's just some defensemen that are flat-footed. And when you get Stankoven and Duchene and Wyatt Johnston flying through the middle of the ice, and if you don't keep it tight through the area that they want to get through, you're going to get either a 1-on-0 or you get a 2-on-1 out of it. I think that's why it happens. But it doesn't happen enough. To me, it doesn't. It's not worth the losing of 10 to 15 seconds every time it goes back down the ice for me.
I think that they attack the way that we believe they should attack when they're off the rush, and I think that's why they're successful on it. I think that Robertson's goal, I know it wasn't right off the rush, but the attack mentality that he had on that is why this team. I mean, we used to see Rope Hintz blowing through the middle on the power play too. We talk about his breakaways and all that kind of stuff, but the amount of times that he entered the zone off of a pass or off of himself and created a chance off the rush, the team speed that the Stars have, as soon as you get in and you set up and you start passing it around, obviously they don't do a good enough job making the PK move. But even if you're not doing a good enough job when you're set up, just bring it on the rush, and instead of dropping it back and setting up immediately, at least take it to the net. Then at least you're driving the PK down low, and then you can throw it back up top and create something off of it versus just let's get in, drop a 2-foot pass, and then the PK gets to drop right into their box or diamond and just sit there. That's what I think makes them successful off of that. I like to see it.
It was interesting because that's our last super chat we have, but that doesn't mean. Oh wait, no, there's another one that just popped up. I was going to say you can keep giving us super chats. We will jump into our final segment as well, but we've got another one.
Bing bang.
Our buddy Michael Moore with his second one of the day, I believe. A little Haskin 99 Cup here. Luddy, is there a difference in a team playing to win versus playing to lose? It seems the Stars play not to lose versus playing to win this year.
Yeah, I think that, yes, there are teams that play not to lose out there. And I don't think that's ever been any intention of this Stars team, not the way that they want to go at things. I don't think they're playing not to lose. I said this numerous times. We got to stop comparing it to the team of last year and maybe the year before, because it's just got different parts, different pieces. Yeah. There's injuries right now. Maybe when everybody's healthy, it's going to get closer, but you still have some young players in here, and you're missing a couple. We're missing that guy, and he made a big difference.
Well, if you add Pavelski and Marchman and Sagan, they're down 3 of their top 6 forwards from last year. Mm-hmm. And some of the players from last year's top 6 have struggled to start the year. Robertson, Hintz, a little bit better lately-ish.
Yeah, but when you say that, the guys, Marchment, you're talking about Duchene and Tyler, right?
Yep.
The other lines weren't going that well. It was that line that was carrying this team.
Year.
That's why I'm saying it's different.
Last year.
Yeah.
From last year to this year,
different pieces.
They're missing 3 with JP and those 2 that are currently hurt.
Close enough.
And some of the guys that are still here haven't had the greatest of starts. And some of the young guys that they're hoping to grab those roles are young, adjusting and not just, Logan Stankoven exploded into the start of the season with a great early part. He did get an assist tonight on the first Stars goal in transition. It was a nice play. Maybe that helps, but he hasn't scored a goal for now 18 straight games. That's a tough run for a young player trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but again, he's going to continue to work. He ends up getting 4 or 5 shots a night. It's not like he's feeling sorry for himself.
No, although I think he is going through it. Even if he continues to play his game, I'm sure it's affecting him.
And I don't think that Dallas really has well, they do have a 4th line, but when we saw him down on the 4th line, I just think that was tough for him too. Even though you're going to get the same amount of minutes, I just thought that was, but again, I'm sure they have a good conversation with him.
And I think that's something on Stankoven that will kind of grow with his maturity and knowing of the NHL Luds. Because I think he's a young kid. He's gone through the spot where when he went through junior hockey, he went through there is true split between, hey, the top 6 guys, the top line, and what it means to be lower in the lineup. The way the Stars run, the way most of the NHL is, but particularly the Stars, it's a pretty even balance. And I think that's one of those things that'll be one of those learning experiences in the long run for Stankoven, where there is a role where it doesn't need to wear on you, because if you're on the 3rd or 4th line that takes the rush or whatever, when you really take a look at the minutes, it's only a minute less, 45 seconds less. I think that's part of the learning experience for Stankoven that's kind of going to go through, and as he kind of figures that out, and he'll be better for it in the future.
Yeah. All right. Great super chats, great chats in general. We appreciate it. We will do much more as we continue next here on the Stars postgame show. But first, let's make Sean talk. No, I'm kidding. Maybe no. He didn't have a read tonight, but he can definitely chime in as he finishes some delicious, let's call it Herman Marshall.
We need a bottle up here. If they get it in the mail to me, I will hold the bottle of, covered up right now, of different competitor.
I'm sure you can make that happen.
Yeah.
It'll come in the same package as your new microphone.
I literally just turned my camera on to say that exact same thing.
It'll get here before the end of the regular season.
I get told once a month that's being sent to you any day now, Sean, or that it is being handled, and I still see you with the same headset as the first show.
So the QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can use that if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us later, go to alldls.com. Sean knows how to point because it's right there versus me going like that.
Oh, man, I did the wrong way.
Yep, trying to figure it out. Sign up to be a diehard. Not only do you get access to the Discord, to all the diehard level writing that these guys over here do, but you also can get shirts like this. This is the Mike Madonna 8-bit shirt. New shirt wearing tonight. Got another one for the next show, which is tomorrow. We'll just keep trotting out some of these DLS shirts. Well, you get a free shirt with your annual subscription. That's every year. So one for the first year, one for the next year, and on and on and on. And maybe at some point we've got to get a Steve Spot shirt with that logo. Yeah. Imagine having that walk. That's a dare.
A Lud's milk shirt.
That's a dare. Yeah. Sam gets the Steve Spot T-shirt and goes into practice and has to interview Spot or Pete wearing that.
Do you think Steve Spot has seen that?
Probably not.
Exactly.
Not a chance. But if he wears it on a shirt, he would. Anyway.
Does he have a sense of humor? Do you guys know him at all?
I think he does.
Okay, so he would think it's hilarious.
I think he has a sense. Yes, he has a sense of humor.
Yeah. Our off season, if he comes on the show, we will make him that shirt.
We should have that shirt made for him.
He wouldn't be able to see it anyway. I've been way too low below the podium for anyone to see what I'm wearing.
Yeah, it would have to say the shirt. It would have to be very Anchorman style. It'd be that on the back and that on the front, and on the back, it would say 14% of the time it works every time
for the power play.
hey, Sam, you and Spotter, are you guys the same height? Or who? You and Spotter?
Maybe.
I don't know. He was on the podium the only time I was really face to face. He's usually up there. So. Pretty close though.
So you've never been standing on flat ground talking to him yet?
Not face to face, and I haven't gotten the measuring tape out with him yet. But he's pretty close to my height.
Okay. He looks like it.
So JT in the chat said, "How tall is Sam?" ? Tall enough to be hot, apparently.
Well, 6 foot on the. If I was on an NHL team, it would certainly say 6 foot on my roster. That's for sure.
Yeah, and that would be extremely generous.
Who told him that he was hot? Who was it?
Allison.
Do we know how tall? I'm assuming Allison's a female.
She is.
Do we know how tall Allison is? You can't presume anything anymore. So I'm just.
I don't have the official measurements.
Careful,
Well,
lads.
Allison, can you chat us or whatever it's called?
Get in the chat. Yeah, let us know. I know she's from Edmonton.
Yeah, Sean, this is where everything goes sideways. Here. It's a good time to tune out.
Yeah. Oh, Sean is all ready for this.
Sam, I guess I'll just ask you this on the show. I'm 99% sure that your girlfriend responded in the chat. Is that accurate?
Yep.
What did she say?
Oh no, this is the real girlfriend.
Would you like consent?
Oh, this is breaking news.
Can I love this on the screen, Sam?
This is what I like.
Sam, can we make this public?
Okay, Sam said.
Oh, this could get messy.
Katie, Sam forgot to check his main source.
Do you want to explain that?
Is she in the other room?
Sure, yeah.
Can she come in and jump into the screen here with us? Can we invite her in?
Nope. She doesn't get paid enough for that.
Wow, poor Katie.
But I
Dragged
appreciate
to
it.
San Diego.
I will check.
Strong-armed out of the screen.
And she's texting me.
I bet she is too.
She's texting you now.
We also clogged our sink, so the plumber is currently vacuuming our sink at 9:00 at night.
You've had your way with plumbing this year.
That wasn't me this time either. My dad was in there. My dad was using a plunger in the sink.
Hey, did you, by the way, just off the record, did you give her that ring already that you showed us you were going to hand to her?
She's listening to the show, Lutz. Will you
come on, Luddy. You just caught us in trouble.
No.
Because I was going to point out.
Dump buttons in podcasting.
There's a chance. There's a very strong chance that Katie is the only current significant other of us that would actually be watching or listening to this.
Yeah, I know. Mine's not.
No, yeah. So never.
It's not even close.
They can't even stand us talking to them in person, much less watch us.
Same. All right, let's get back on track briefly, although this has been awful fun to hear about Sam's plumbing in the sink. Sam needs Superchats to pay the plumber, according to Corey. So
plumbing problems.
That's a different shade of red he is right now.
He is. Yeah, we've gone from awkward to uncomfortable. Yeah. JT says first the studio bathroom, now the sink.
They are clapping. There is clapping in the room next door, by the way. So I think they are on about a 30-second delay.
Let's see.
Now hearing Luds.
T Farmer says waffle stomp Sam strikes again. Sam earlier, Aaron explains this, everyone, in case you didn't get the joke immediately. Aaron sent in, Sam earlier said, let me check my sources when he was checking if he was hot. Katie chimed in to say he didn't check his main source. That is expert level support from our diehards right there.
We have 72 people watching live right now, and 12 of them are watching on different devices in the other room where Sam is right now.
Sam, I just saw Sam make eye contact with someone off the screen,
including the plumber. He's also watching.
And now we have a plunger emoji in the chat for the first time.
I can't wait to see that frying pan hit him in the back of the
head. Just clang. Which is worse, the frying pan for Sam or the Tyler Bertuzzi elbow?
I don't know. I've had them all.
All right. Let's do our Herman Marshall marquee moment of the match, of the game, not the match. We'll do the match in a minute. You can check out your closest goody liquor store to find your favorite bottle. What's our moment of the match tonight? Moment of the game. Marquee moment.
Marquee moment. Read it right. You know what I'm going with? I'm going with Colin Blackwell for eating an elbow, a 5-minute penalty.
No, wait for it. Not Sam Steele.
Wait for it. That led to a power play goal.
I had the right line.
I'm going Colin Blackwell.
Which we hadn't seen in 5 games.
That's my guy. That's why. I just wanted to explain why.
For every bottle of single barrel straight bourbon whiskey, Herman Marshall donates 15% of its revenue to the Guns N' Hoses Foundation of North Texas. For those who went before, stop into your closest goody-goody liquor store to find your favorite bottle. And now that we've thoroughly embarrassed Sam, you get to go first. Man of the match today. And it can't be the plumber. Or it could be.
Okay, that's second. Second is definitely the plumber because we needed that big time. No, Matt Duchene for me, 3 points. I think he drove a lot of the offense tonight. His goal was huge, obviously, to put this one away. And I think that pass to Dadonov was just beautiful. I love that 2-on-1 when you reach a little bit forward and make that pass around the defender. Such a simple play, but very, very few players make it. And a lot of passes are thrown into skates on those kind of scenarios, and he put it right on the tape. So Matt Duchene.
Sean?
Since Sam took Duchene, I'll go with Wyatt Johnston, just because I think one of the big things for me was my big moment of the night was the thing that didn't happen, where there wasn't the third period lull. There wasn't the Blackhawks coming back in this one when it was 3-1. And so I'll give it to Wyatt Johnston for basically setting the tone that this wasn't going to be a disappointing third period and effectively closing it out 10 seconds into the third.
Luddy?
I'm going to go with the Russian that is a Swiss Army knife. I think Dadonov has been very good wherever he is. I think tonight, because of the way he stopped in front of the net on that one, leads to a goal. And then I think his finishing off Duchene's pass. So I thought he was very integral to the success tonight.
Yeah, he was incredible. Look, I would have gone with Duchene first. I probably would have gone with Dadonov second. Johnston's a great pick. But since you guys picked all three of those, I've got to go with Jason Robertson because they just needed a power play goal. And he got it. Plus, he got a secondary assist by getting out of the way of Matt Duchene. He got control of the puck and then deferred to the guy that wants it on his stick.
He lost it. It bobbled off his stick, and Duchene was close support and picked it up.
2-point night.
But you know what? He got an assist on it.
I mean, Wyatt Johnston scored a goal with his stick getting slashed, and it went off his foot in. So.
And this is what the coaches would tell you. That's why we don't dump pucks in, because we want close support.
Right.
If we would have dumped that puck in, that play may have never happened.
Let's see. Corey says he would have gone with Oettinger for a couple 2-3 save moments after they were up 2-1. Joe Pavelski, according to I Love Misty. Jamie Benn for Ardell. His goal let the teak breathe. He meant team. He let the team. It's right. Yeah, that Jamie goal early, right?
That was because of Dadonov, though.
And it was because of Dadonov going hard to the net and Stankoven getting assist on that. And then a quick follow-up, because I checked my DMs a second ago. Earlier question, Allison is 5'4", in case Sam wanted to know.
So she's still taller than he is.
And she said, and you ready for this? She said, just look out here looking for a green card relationship so I can move to Dallas. Ha, ha, ha. Oh.
Can she play down in front of the net on the power play? 'Cause we could get a green card for her.
Yeah, that'll get her a job for sure.
If you can get some net front presence.
I hear there's an opening in the area for that.
Oh, man. All right. We are just about done. We do have a show tomorrow, which is rare for us. And I think, well, we wanted to spend a little bit more time. We did it in a pregame show. So if you get a chance, go listen to that or go watch it. It's on YouTube. It's not on the audio platforms, because we talked a bit about the whole controversy with an optional practice violating the CBA. I don't think we need to get into that again now after a few minutes of that. But if we have anything else we want to touch on with that, we can do that tomorrow. There's the article that Sean wrote that Luddy had questions about with what is Steve Spott's role and how he combines with Pete DeBoer and how they work together for so many years and sort of complement what they do. We've got Mason Marchment. We've got Colin Blackwell getting a elbow to the face. Marchment, of course, got the puck the other day. What about Justin Ritzkovian? Did anybody have any big impressions about his NHL debut?
I would ask Sean, did he live up to any of the info that you got on him?
Nothing. I mean, he didn't have the big impact, but when you kind of isolate what he did, and I'll probably go through and watch his shifts tomorrow before we come on the show to kind of give a little bit more. But from picking away when you did kind of focus on what he did, I thought the details were there. I thought he kept his head above water, for lack of a better word. Like he wasn't over. The moment didn't get to him. And I think there's times where sometimes a guy making his NHL, first ever NHL game will kind of get overloaded by it and get away from his game. And I thought he stuck with his game. Was he overly notable? No, but he was good enough. And obviously, with the injury situation, I would give him another. I would give another run on Wednesday. Is what I would do, sir.
Thanks to everyone who joined on our television platforms. Make sure to like and subscribe here on the pod, and check out alldls.com. Okay, Sam, would you like to add anything to Sean, who just got in under the wire?
Yeah, no, I think he only played like.
Blooddy's providing the music now. He's
gonna get in trouble. Copyright.
No, we could never play music here.
Wait,
Can't play. I think we were under the 7 seconds for the YouTube algorithm to catch it. But
How does
are there mic?
How does it work as far as
off?
if Sam sings it? I think it's just you and I right now, Sam. I think they're off.
I think
no,
so,
they're
too.
on now. They're back.
We're on.
If Sam sings, how does that work for copyright? Because then it's just a Sam Nestler cover.
I did specifically ask if we could bring in instruments and perform the music ourselves, and I was told no. So, but to be fair, like if that was
fair.
if Sam and I tried to perform Chelsea Dagger or something, maybe it would just be so bad that the YouTube algorithm wouldn't pick it up. I don't know.
Probably. Like most of
Ardell
my
just
covers.
said my volume is off.
You're still muted.
It was. Both of you guys were off.
Well,
I was
yeah,
trying-
he's
I
like
didn't
30
know what
seconds
was going
behind
on.
Yeah, he's behind. Okay.
I hit all of them. Both mics were gonna pick it up. Don't play music on the air, Luds.
That wasn't me. That was his phone.
Oh, was it Owens?
Yeah. Get the right guy.
I thought it was Luds. I'm sorry.
Definitely not my phone.
You guys are
As you see him,
troublemakers.
Wait a second. Do you think I'd have Snoop Dogg on my phone?
that wasn't Snoop.
That was not Snoop
but
Dogg.
yes.
Who was it? Well, see? I don't
the
know.
good gracious asafotacious, that dude, right?
I'd just like to point out my phone is right here. The one that was making music was right over there.
We're instituting a rule. If your phone goes off on the air, you have to read the text message on the air.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
Or answer the call.
Was it from?
What are we ringing a bell?
Was that who the text was from?
He wants to know if you got a text from Joe.
I did not.
Okay.
But he has before on the show.
Yes.
So
We will have our full show tomorrow, 1 o'clock Central Time. That means 2 o'clock for Sean. I don't know off the top of my head what it means for Alistair,
11.
but I'm guessing it's probably 5-6 hours ahead. So it'll probably be an evening prime time if he's listening live over in the UK. And there's no shortage of topics to talk about. So I think we should probably just get to that.
Hooroo.
What was that?
I'm not.
Yeah.
What's that?
I'm muted.
Hooroo.
Oh,
The Hooroo hat trick.
you want to mention it real quick, Sam?
We'll talk about it tomorrow more, but R2 Hooroo with his first hat trick over in North America today for the Texas
All right.
Stars in a big win over the Moose.
So that's going to wrap things up for us. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in.
The Mitzvah Moose.
The Mitzvah
The
Moose
Mitzvah
made a huge impression tonight. Get that all lit
Look
up,
at
Sean,
that.
so that John can screen
There
capture
you
that
go.
and use it for a tweet later.
There you
That's
go.
amazing.
Wait a minute. Where's day 5? Right there. Oh, no, you went
Hold on.
past it.
Oh, we got to go back. We got to go back. 1,
No, too far.
2,
Back.
3, 4, 5. There we go.
I've
5.
never played it.
L'Chaim,
There we go.
the Mitzvah Moose. I can't think of a better way to wrap it up. So for Sam, potentially his green card searching future wife, Allison. For Sean, for Luds, for producer John, I'm Owen. We've had fun tonight.
That's low.
Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. For the folks watching Sam in San Diego, we really hope you enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Stars win. We'll see you at 1 o'clock Central tomorrow here on the DLS Dallas Stars podcast post-game show tonight.
Look for Sam on CNN tomorrow morning.
Tomahawk City.
We all silly like the mayor.